Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and a doctoral student of psychology. Today, we're going to talk about something that deviates slightly from what we typically discuss on this channel, but it is something that happens a lot. And so I want to talk about this. There's a particular type of man that I notice that every other man wants to be. That's a good thing, right? It's a role model. But unfortunately, the flip side of that is some men are actually jealous of this type of man. It's not always the case, but it is showing up pretty frequently, at least in my line of work as a therapist. I'm seeing this a lot more common and more often. And I think part of the reason is because a lot of these men are just, maybe it's just becoming less common because social media has really influenced both men and women to just, I guess, be so many different ways, which is kind of good. But also it does kind of isolate some of these men who maybe stand out or who are less likely to be influenced by certain things. And so what I notice is that these men, they're most of the time they attract a lot of women, but they also are not, men are not too friendly with them. Not always the case, but I have noticed it's getting more common. So the first one is that he actually shares things about himself in story format. What we see based on research is that men who do this, they come across very charismatic and magnetic. And so a lot of people, both men and women, are drawn to this type of guy. He is just comfortable sharing things about himself. He's not really taking himself too seriously, but he's also not insulting himself. He's just sharing about his life, and his life is interesting. He's sharing about some sort of hunting trip or some sort of difficulty he had, even this weekend, but he's able to translate it in such a way that people are really getting more comfortable with not just his life, but being very invested in him. And women like that, of course. But other men also want to be that center of attention type of guy, at least when they want to, right? It's almost like, I guess the best way to put it is like he commands the room to some extent. Where when he's speaking, a lot of people are just very drawn to him because his stories are interesting. Who he is very interesting. And if this doesn't fit you, there are probably other points that do. But if you want to improve your social skills or like address emotional barriers, you can book a call with me. It's pinned in the comments. But the next one is actually that you have a particular area you're extremely competent in. It doesn't have to be every single area you're competent in. And a lot of men, or some men, sometimes think that you have to be competent in every single area. But guys like this, and some of you guys are like this, you know that that's not really the case. Usually women are just attracted as long as you have something that you're competent with. A lot of women like that in men. And other men can also be kind of competitive of this. And it can be anything. Most of the time I see with patients, it's tied to his profession. So my significant other's in finance. And so that's like his thing. He's very competent. I never question anything about finance. I like to do my own little budgeting, but I never, when it comes to like certain things about finance, I don't even argue with him because I know that is his area. Like he has been doing this for his field. He's climbed the ladder a lot for his age. Like people are double his age and he's doing that same position. And so I know he's very competent and I just don't argue. And a lot of people don't argue. They respect the fact that he knows what he's talking about. Other men, when we go to like certain events and whatever, they address him like very accurately and they treat him like he is a competent person because he is, and that's attached to his profession. And a lot of men have this. My father is a businessman. I've told you guys this many times, and he has multiple businesses and he's not competent in a lot of areas. Like his social skills could use work, I'm being honest with you guys, but when it comes to like business and finance and things like that, he knows exactly what he's talking about. People know that about him. And a lot of men have a certain area where they're competent in. Usually that's the type of guy that a lot of men wish they could be, which is good because wanting to be somebody like somebody else that you're not or trying to learn is a good thing. Having a role model is good too. So even if you don't fit any of these things, you can become this, right? It's good to have a role model as well. Because a lot of times men have their role model as their father or maybe a teacher they had. And so you might have grown up with a man who was like this, but even if not, you can still learn some of these things too. The next one is unwavering confidence about your passion or goals. This could even be the specific aspect of what we talked about that you're competent in. The reason is research shows that passion shows autonomy and identity and unwavering confidence, which shows self-esteem, which research shows does improve attractiveness. So this one really attracts women. Oh, I didn't mention this, but it's usually most of you guys who watch my videos, you already know this, but the research is in the description box for anyone who's new. The next one is that you are able to match people's tones and emotions. The reason this is, the research shows that this is like leadership, but it also shows empathy and social awareness. We have seen a lot of research on this. In particular, we see that leaders who have followers even years to come, even after they have passed, it's usually because this particular leader doesn't just completely, he dominates when he dominates when it's necessary, but he doesn't completely ignore his followers' feelings. He validates their feelings and their tone and understands them. This is part of what makes someone a good leader, and a lot of men strive to be a man like this. The next one is, it seems, this one's interesting, but I noticed this one too. In conversation, a man who I guess a lot of men want to be like, they tend to use another person's name to show a form of respect or recognition. And so if there's a conversation, my name's Amber, so I'm going to use that as an example. If someone's talking to me and they say, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense, then they didn't say my name. It doesn't have the same exact recognition as someone says, Amber, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. I hear that. That's kind of an example of anybody would take that as, this person is very respectful. Let me listen to what they're saying. They respect me. I respect them. It is common in psychology that we kind of, because someone has respected us, we kind of match that as well. It's reciprocation, okay? The next one is use positive humor to connect with others. So research in 2017 does show that examining the role of humor in romantic relationships specifically, but also business relationships, we can see positive humor styles promote connection, attraction, and sometimes leadership. A leader who has no ability for humor, that's common as well. But what we see is the ones who are able to have humor every now and again does show to be more connected to his followers. And then a lot of people take him more seriously when he is serious. The best way to put it is his moments of being serious are more prominent because of that. And positive humor is very attractive for women, and women really like to commit to men like that. The humor is more receptive if it's positive, is the best way to put it. And what we found is desirability is very highly rated, those who are humorous, positively humor, and physical attractiveness together. So it almost like boosts it for like a man who's physically attractive and then another man who's physically attractive, but he's humorous. He is, what we saw in this research, it is more highly rated for how women rate male partners. Like she finds that more attractive if you have humor and of course if you take care of yourself. And so humor actually does, based on this research, significantly shift how women see you and how I guess other men see you as well. The next one is you immediately communicate when someone crosses the line with you. If somebody disrespects you, you don't wait to let them continuously disrespect you until you say, hey, by the way, that hurt my feelings. You communicate it immediately in the way that you do it, right? I probably can't do it like you guys, but something along the lines of, I didn't appreciate that. Don't talk like that to me, etc. Okay. The next one is you immediately communicate when you appreciate something about someone. So this is very similar. If maybe someone cooks you some food, okay? Maybe your girlfriend makes you some dinner. You say, I really appreciate that. Thank you. Right? You say it right away because it shows that you're not just a person who's so difficult there. You have so many walls up, you can't let anybody in. You put the walls up when needed. You're flexible when you can. You can appreciate other people because you respect other people. And a lot of people see respectable leaders as someone they want to be like. Other men, maybe younger boys, want to grow up and be like someone like this, right? Or women are attracted to this type of man. And this is a good thing. I don't think this is bad at all. Unfortunately, a lot of men like this, they do get put down by other men. I've actually seen it where like attractive celebrities, I wish I could remember some of their names. I'm bad with names. But like I remember any man who's like attractive on social media, sometimes he gets like really dragged. And we see this even in person. A lot of men who are maybe they feel like they're less attractive because sometimes they're not. They may talk poorly about other men. We see that a lot. The research in the description box is 2015, 2017, 2022, and 2013. I hope this video is helpful to somebody. Please like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.